for the Pole Hook Golf Podcast live stream and live recording of the podcast episode. That, folks, this normally comes out on Thursday morning. So if you're a podcast listener and you're just catching us for the very first time, we tend to chat a little bit before we get going here. And then we kind of hit that 3, 2, 1 recording mode and we head right into a podcast recording that ends up going out on Thursday mornings, as I mentioned. But these first like couple minutes, they always feel good. But tonight's episode, man, you ready for this? I'm not ready for this, but I feel like we have to do this because the people need it. The people need to know who the best golf content creators out there, or as I like to phrase it, the best social media accounts for golf. And we'll be diving into, who's the best, who's the GOAT right now, who YouTube versus Instagram versus TikTok. I know you don't spend too much time on the good old Twitter, so I'll kind of delve into that side of things as we go into it. But I'm looking forward to it. It's either going to be a terrible episode or it's going to be a fantastic episode. I don't know which one yet.
I don't think it's going to be bad. It's never that bad.
It's never that bad. You're right.
It was bad a couple times when we used to get absolutely slosh faced on here, but no, we're good now. We're matured.
Do you miss the days to where we would just pound whiskey?
I mean, look, there's a place for it, like in my heart for sure. It's a lot of fun. We definitely had a good time, and yeah, if it wasn't so fucking painful after, um,
we had some good moments. We had a
it
good
was fun.
run. We had a good run on the booze.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are completely sober, which is fun too. Well, you're not. I am.
I have the occasional pop for sure.
Just to loosen up just a little bit. I'm just checking. Our live chat's a little quiet right now, a little quiet. We're going to wait for some people to jump on. I know there's a few of you getting on now, but we always appreciate on this episode as well that are on this live stream, the commentary, as we like to interact with everybody. But there he is on cue. Happy belated birthday to our guy, Trot Golfer.
Got it.
He is our unofficial researcher. We posted it on our story the other day. It is the cardigan. It is the Devro Golf cardigan. I know my camera's a little. I feel like I got to get up here for this one, but normally the logo is like up here. But anyways, yes, it is a Devro Golf cardigan. I've worn this on the golf course too. Actually, Todd Dobson over at the Grass League. I've played golf with him wearing this. And he's like, whoa, that is some outfit you got on tonight. Can you golf in a cardigan? I'm like, absolutely, you can. Devereaux said we can.
It suits you. No pun intended.
You wore one not that long ago, and I was like, oh man, I'm kind of jealous. And I got home today, and all of a sudden the AC was blasting in the house. And I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling a little chilly. I'm gonna pop on the cardigan for
I
tonight's
almost
show.
wore it tonight. It's a little warm up here for me, as you can see. My cheeks were a little red, so had nothing to do with the stress of racing home to be on here. But hey,
Yeah, I got the text about 2 minutes before showtime. I'm hustling. I'll be there in a second. I'm just
trying.
yeah, I am. As we just talked about it, I'm starting to get like sweaty all of a sudden. I'm like, let me turn the AC down in the
Talking
studio
about the
here.
cardigan.
Yeah.
God damn, that's a knee slapper there.
Oh man. All right, folks, let's get into this. I feel like this is going to be a fun one. We've got five Billies, says Kyle over at Cart Barn Guys. So I believe that's in reference to you beating up on Pup.
It sure is. It sure is in reference to that. That's what we kind of say in regards to the multiple championship wins is just five Billies. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There was also a social media post that I do want to touch on at towards the end of this episode. If you remember, and I forget, Butsy, bring it up. The one that was on Zaire Golf
Which
about
one?
the new age players and how they're ruining the game of golf.
Oh, I hate that guy. Whoever wrote that post. I absolutely hate that fucking nerd.
It's a VJ burner account.
Yeah.
And the guy belongs or claims to belong to Chicago Golf Club and clearly is like 65 years old, maybe 70. Just an old school dude because he wants to shrink the game. He doesn't like all the new age kids that are out there playing the game of golf and growing the game. So we'll touch upon that towards the end of tonight's episode.
Love
But
that for
you
us.
ready? I do too. I do love that for us. All right, let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook. Tonight, we've got Butsy with us. Clearly, we've got Butsy with us here tonight as he mimics my intro. He's heard it so many times, folks, that my God, he absolutely loves it when I get into that because, as you can see, his face is red. He gets right into it as well. And
I
we've
love
got
it.
an awesome episode for all of you tonight. We've got the debate of the best social media accounts for golf across the plethora. So we're going to be talking about Instagram. We're going to be talking about Twitter X. We're going to be talking about the accounts on YouTube as well as TikTok. And we'll be getting into all of that here tonight. And we'll even get into a little bit of a chat that went on Zyre Golf with a VJ Burner account. So hopefully we'll touch upon that towards the end of tonight. But without further ado, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. First of all, folks, Devereaux Golf. I am wearing the cardigan tonight, if you can see this. And you worn this a few weeks ago, I feel like. it wasn't that long ago you wore this, Butsy, but man, this thing is so comfy. And when I saw you wear it, I was like, man, if there's ever like a chilly night in the studio, I'm going to absolutely rock this thing. And by the way, we're in Arizona, so it is very warm here in Arizona. I think it hit 111 today, but the AC was blasting when I got into the studio. And I'm like, let's keep that going. So I just actually turned it down because I started heating up again. And, but this cardigan is so comfy. And I just feel like it's perfect for the fireside chat that we're going to have tonight. But folks, if you want to utilize, or actually, it not only utilize, but get yourself some Devereaux golf gear. Okay. Devereaux Golf, local golf company here in Arizona, based out of Tempe, Arizona, almost on ASU campus. Absolutely awesome streetwear for golf, as well as normal golf polos and so forth. The head covers that they do are phenomenal. They're behind me here. The putter covers, head covers, big fan of those. Every time I go in, I pick up a new head cover. And folks, you can too by going to DevereauxGolf.com. Utilize the promo code PullHookGolf20 for 20% off your entire order over at DevereauxGolf.com. If you happen to miss their Labor Day sale, at least you're getting 20% off through the Pull Hook Golf podcast. And you're also supporting the podcast. Go ahead.
Devereaux. How'd they say it in Korea? How was it translated? What did it sound like? Devereaux go.
That's right, folks. We did have an episode translated. If you haven't seen that particular, not an episode, but our commercial, we do have it on our social media account at Pull Hook Golf on Instagram. Phenomenal stuff. I mean, us speaking Korean really changes the game. And I heard that Google's going to be coming out with that for YouTube soon so that we can start translating all of our episodes, and they'll dub us for that. So it'll be pretty interesting there. But we got such a kick out of that when we did that. And it is a Devereaux Golf commercial.
Just phenomenal stuff.
It really is. And then for all of my 5 a.m. comeback stuff, which today is day 76, just posted the first reel for it as we're going to start kicking up some content here in the near future. I'm actually leaving for Newport Beach tomorrow to go train at Stark Health.
Shut up!
Part of that, folks, I use Rockform, by the way, for everything content related when it comes to needing a magnet device. They put it in their golf section. There's a shaft that comes with this magnetic holster. So if you have a MagSafe device like an iPhone 15, iPhone 16, what's about to come out is the iPhone 17. If you got any of those, make sure to go to Rockform. Get one of these. They're absolutely awesome. You can stick the shaft. It's basically just like a driver shaft that you stick into the ground. It's got a little pointy end to it. And then the MagSafe is right there on top. You can pop it off, and the magnet's so strong you can attach it to anything metal. I use it during all my workouts. It's been an absolute lifesaver. Every trainer that I've had has been like, whoa, how are you doing how are you getting me this camera angle for this workout? And it's like, oh, I'm just attaching this to all the metal equipment that is in a gym. So it makes virtual gym sessions an absolute breeze, creating content very easy as well, just by utilizing that. And then I've also got the speaker, which the box is right here on my other side. And that the G Rock speaker, 24-hour battery life. I can't speak highly enough of that because at first I was like, oh, you know, I've had so many different speakers. I'm like, sure, let's go ahead. I'll get that from Rockform. And my God, has it been very impressive just from a sound quality, but also the magnets. Rockform does not mess around when it comes to the magnets. You can attach it to anything metal. And then the 24-hour battery life. I feel like I never charged this thing, which is awesome because who remembers all the time to keep it plugged in? Or if
Oh,
you're going on a trip or out to the golf course, you're like, oh
oh,
shit, I forgot to charge it.
oh.
Happens all the time.
Yep.
So, folks, once again, 20% off over at Rockform if you use the promo code PULLHOOK 2025 at checkout. Just want to give back to our audience there. And by the way, you're supporting Pullhook Golf in the process by purchasing from either of those two. Do want to give another little shout out to Jones Golf, who hooked me up with a golf bag and the pouch for the golf bag and everything. If you're watching some of the 5 a.m. comeback content, that
Oof.
you're going to see that golf bag a lot. And I will tell you, I've had Jones Golf now for several years. I started out with just basically the caddy bag is what I like to call it, but the stripe show. And that bag was a staple for a long time. I never really realized how much I missed a stand until I got their oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the name.
It rocks you out.
It's just awesome. I absolutely love it. So folks, if you're looking for a new golf bag, Jones Golf, and check out the content as well. So as we're talking about content, Botsy, let's get into the top social media golf accounts.
Fuck yeah.
And let's start off with where you thrive and where your biggest audience is with Instagram. Okay. So this can be anything. We're going to keep this very broad, doesn't have to just be influencers. All right. But who is your top? Let's go top 5. If that's too many, we can narrow that down. But let's start off with the top 5 Instagram social media accounts. Who you got?
Oh man. Probably like for general just news and kind of viral shit, you got to go with Zyre Golf. I think first and foremost, they're kind of. It used to be Golf Gods back in the day when I started out, and then they became a full fledged business, and more power to them. But Zyre is probably kind of like, hey, if you're on Zyre, like you probably did something that's pretty viral. They don't post shit that's not, so that's pretty good chance that's going to be entertaining what comes up on there, or you hate it, one or the other, like a lot. Either way, it's powerful. Influencer wise, I don't know. I really don't. We talked about this. I don't really watch people. I watch like science shit and weird stuff. But if I had to pick a couple, the Black Rain is probably my favorite. Teal Barber. He's fucking hilarious. He makes fun of rich people and inadvertently is becoming rich as a result of that.
Gotta
So it's
love the
fucking
irony there.
it's amazing. It's written. Yeah, he's like an ex-child actor, and like so, there's very polished sense to it. So he's really good. Um, I like Country Club Adjacent. I think they're pretty solid. Jake and Griff and Mark Smalls and all that whole fucking crew over there. Um, Cart Barn guys, obviously, they're probably number one on the list. Some of the most electric content on the gram. Founders and creators of just about all trends that are now being utilized by. They kind of grandfathered most of the shit that other people are doing now. They were kind of the original, and when I say they, I mean him, Kyle. So if he's watching right now, he would never say that about himself, but that's absolutely true. Most of the stuff that's still going on today was originally done by Cart Barn guys. So I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, that's just a couple to name a few. I'm kind of ranting, so right over to you, Maddie.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see this whole golf content world, right? We started the podcast going back over 3 years ago now. And when I thought of golf specific content, I thought of podcasts. And so for me, I looked at some of the OG podcasts that I'm like, man, they kind of led the way content wise. Now, as I got more and more into the content game with the podcast, I started to
Yeah.
notice that, groups that, and first of all, I will say that from a golf podcast standpoint, let me throw this out there. No laying up. They're an OG within the golf podcast space. You've got Golf Subpar, which is Colton Nost and Drew Stoltz. Those guys, and I've messaged Colt before. I'm like, dude, what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal. Being able to have a very successful golf podcast, and then on top of that, being a commentator and analyst on like PGA Tour Live, and now he's starting to get into the CBS broadcast a lot more. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very cool to see that skill set, and obviously he was a hell of a player too,
Yeah.
having won the U.S. Amateur. So shout out to those guys because they've done a phenomenal job. You do have to shout out, as much as I hate it, right? Foreplay Golf, Foreplay Pod, like
Do you
because
have
they're on
to?
Barstool, they've done a great job of growing an audience, a very specific audience that is kind of growing the game of golf in a way. Some people are going to argue with me and say that, they're terrible. They're not good golfers. You shouldn't listen to them. They're terrible. They obviously, the one that gets me is Riggs. Riggs has always kind of like Frankie is enjoyable. Trent is just kind of awkward. And you kind of look at him and you're like, you kind of feel for the guy. Dan Rappaport used to be on there. Now Dan is doing scratch golf and just some good good content around those particular podcasts. But it's sad to see that I want to say that it was like Fireside Chat or Fireside something. That podcast stopped. I actually
Okay.
enjoyed that one, and I'm trying to think of it's the writer who got into all the trouble with Live Golf, and then he ended up writing one on Live Golf. Can't think of the name off the top of my head.
Okay.
But again, that was a good podcast as well. If I'm going to go Instagram, right,
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
looking at this and going, okay, we're looking at reels, we're looking at clips because Instagram a little bit different than TikTok on the golf content side, I feel like. So for me, when I look at the top Instagram accounts, right?
Yeah.
I gotta give the top spot, in my opinion, which this is gonna drive some people absolutely bonkers. Bonkers, I'm telling you. Paige Sporanic. I know. I've never said anything bad about Paige, but it's very specific to like the way Paige goes about it, right? But the
You
one
like her
thing
account the best?
so I'm not saying she's my favorite. I'm saying that she's the top Instagram account in my opinion for
Oh,
golf specific content. I think she's done a really good job of obviously bringing guys into her page, but then at the same time, like there's some girls that follow along in her footsteps, and she's the OG when you look at like the female golf side of all these influencers that are coming up through now. Plus, she's a part of the Grass League, so she signed a deal with the Grass League for I believe a couple $1 million to be a commentator and a part owner of the Grass League. So I mean, you got to give her credit. This is a girl who, like, she played for I want to say San Diego State, if I'm not mistaken. Like that's where I met her. I met her when I was working at Full Swing Golf as the VP of Sales and Marketing over there, and Paige came in and she was looking for a deal with a golf simulator company. Her agent was there kind of positioning her, and to see her go from that to where we were like, who is this girl, to where she's at today, it's pretty incredible at the end of it. So I want like that's the top spot in my opinion. Has to go to Paige for golf Instagram content. And again, I'm talking about Instagram content. All
I
right.
guess my question there is like, you could, I don't know, what are you basing those accolades off of? Like, what makes it the top spot?
I would
You know
say
what I mean?
in engagement, I would say the actual content itself is creative. So like she uses her assets, right? Let's face it, she's got a pair of big tits. Like call a spade a spade. but she uses them in a way that's pretty creative. And as she's getting older, she's getting better and better when it comes to what she's putting out there. Obviously,
Okay.
she still relies on it and goes back to it. But have you heard like her actual commentary in regards to the game of golf?
No.
Like it's actually pretty good. Like it's
Okay.
not, I wouldn't say she's like at a top level by any means, but in terms of like
Sounds polished though. Like,
she sounds polished and she knows what she's talking about in a lot of
okay.
situations. So like, and she's got those little puns and so forth, which fit right into the grass league and what the grass league is all about. So kind of seeing that content, I totally get it. And I get why people love to embrace that. So I give her the top spot when it comes to it. I'll say this, that if we're talking about YouTube content, going obviously in a very different direction there. Um, Bryson, where would you put Bryson?
I mean, dude, I'm the wrong guy to ask. I
You
I
like
don't
Bryson. You've met
I like
Bryson.
Bryce. I don't
Bryson's
like
been
I
good to
don't
you.
I don't like anything on YouTube. I've tried. I've watched all of. I don't enjoy. I haven't found a single golf YouTube video that's put out that's viral, that's known by anybody that I sit there and watch for more than a couple minutes and go, God, I can't wait to keep watching this. That has not happened yet. And that's not because I'm being an asshole or anything. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't know. It's not my type of thing to watch. It doesn't do
I
anything for
got
me.
you.
But
I hear you on all fronts.
this goes back to like the page thing. I'm saying if you depending on what you're basing merit off of, there's a lot of guys that do really well on YouTube and girls, and so it depends on what we're
Well,
basing
let's go to
merit on.
YouTube, right? I was kind of
Yeah, yeah,
talking about Instagram. I kind of just immediately
for sure.
thrusted Page up into that top spot without even, getting
Thrusted
into
page.
some thrusted good old Page right into that top spot. Uh, let's get into YouTube though, because
Let's do
YouTube's a little
that.
bit on the different spectrum when it
Sure.
comes to content creators. And obviously, we got to give a shout out to Cart Barn Guys and Kyle over there that's been doing it for so long. And I just don't feel like he's gotten the attention that he deserves. In being one of the OGs within the space, I feel like his account should be much, much bigger than it is. And whether that's due to algorithms or whatnot, I don't know, but I do want to say that he would be in kind of my top 10 YouTube golf channels. So I'm with you on that side of things. I never got into the whole good thing. And this is going to
No,
drive some people nuts, but
I
I
don't get it.
wouldn't I wouldn't put good in my top 5. I just wouldn't do it.
You're gonna piss
They're on the
people off,
outskirts.
Maddie.
I'm probably going to piss some people off with that one, but I've watched their content. And here's the thing,
Doesn't
like, is it done well? Yes. I just don't see the intrigue around their content. And so, like Grant Horvat, totally get it. And I get why Grant left because now he's so much bigger than he would have been just under the good banner. Bryson
Grant Borfat?
DeChambeau, Grant Horvat, Horfat,
That's right.
Bob Does Sports, also up there in my top 5. Now, this might be controversial to some, but I have liked them, even though like Mikey Perez and I, we were trying to get a match with them. We ended up going out, and nothing ever really came from that. I don't hold it against them. I will say this, that they are up there. I think Bobby Fairways is hilarious. Robbie Berger. I think he's absolutely hilarious. I get his sense of comedy, and I just think he does a brilliant job with that. Fat Perez, had him on the show multiple times. He's probably coming back on soon. So
Nice.
I'm just gonna say that him, Joey Colcott, and I think they just signed somebody too. I saw something on Instagram, I believe, where this young guy was talking to, and I think they got an actual like good golfer to be part of
Nice.
Bob Does Sports. He was talking with Smiley Kaufman, so people will probably rip my head off for not knowing his name, but he's an influencer now and on YouTube or with Bob Does Sports. We've also got Bryson DeChambeau.
Ugh. I, you know, yeah. Can't
He's up there. He's got to be up there in that top
for
5
what?
list.
For why though? Like,
Because that break 50, it
there's
is break
nothing
50,
genuine
right?
about it though. Like, it's just all
But
it's
it's
just
good. Like it
fake.
is good content. It is fake, but it is good content. Like if you're just casually going to watch one of these, like Bryson DeChambeau's up there, and I'm kind of building up to listing out the top 5 because I'm
Are
kind
you
of just throwing
casually
some
watching
names.
that?
I have thrown it up a few times, yes. And I have actually enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed the one with him and Trump. Like that was an enjoyable episode. And of course, everybody was chatting about it. So I had to go in and watch it for research
Sure.
purposes. That was one. What's the other one that I ended up watching was him and oh gosh. I've seen a lot of Phil on Instagram. And I've seen Phil and Grant. The Bryan Bros, they do a lot of content. And
Yeah.
they're very tied to Grant.
I
And
like
they're
the
very
Bryan Bros.
All right, let's list out the top 5. I'm going to go first. I'm going to leave it to you second. At number 5, for YouTube top golf channels and creators, number 5, I'm going Cart Barn Guys. All right. I think that they do not have the reach that they absolutely should with Kyle over there. And I do think that they are an OG that deserves more respect from the YouTube crowd. So I'm going number 5, Cart Barn Guys. Number 4, I'm going to go the Bryan Bros. I think the Bryan Bros, I don't love their content per se, but they're very good at what they do. The production quality is up there, and I just think that they do a really good job. Number 3, ooh, this one's going to be tough. Bob Does Sports. I'm giving Bob Does Sports the 3 spot. I love the comedy aspect. Now, there's somebody that, for instance, when they've had Josh Allen on, and what's the other? Used to be the quarterback for the Jets, then the Vikings. I forget his freaking name. I'm blanking on names tonight, if you can't tell. But that episode was great. I believe that they've done a couple of those now with those guys. I love it when Josh Allen just kind of pushes those guys to drink more and more and more. And they just get absolutely slaughtered out there. So Bob Does Sports is my number 3 slot. We've got number 2. I'm going to go number 2, Bryson DeChambeau. And number 1, Grant Horvat. I think Grant is the number 1. And on the outskirts of all of this is Good. So that whole good fan base can come after me for that one. But Grant Horvat did the smart thing, left Good, went out on his own. And I will say, my favorite stuff from Grant is with Phil Mickelson. Him and Phil, they just have this like relationship that's like big brother, little brother. And it's actually quite fun to watch. So I got to give them a lot of credit. And Bryson in that second slot, by the way, is literally strictly due to the Break 50. That contest, I think, was a brilliant concept. Like nobody was doing this before him. And to move up all the way up to the red tees and make it not like to take away that stigma for one was a cool thing to see him do. 2, I like when he pairs up with different people to be a part of that with him and to try to break 50. I think it's a cool contest and the production's really well done. He certainly has spent a lot of money in the editors and the videographers to go out there and film all of that. So to me, because I'm a podcast guy and I run a podcast agency and social media agency, that it's like, man, that stuff matters and is important to me, the quality of the actual content. So there's my 5. What about you?
I don't have 5.
Okay. You can do 2.
I want to pretend that I do, and I want to play that game. And I know we're just doing, we're trying to have content here to talk about. But I think Grant. I like Grant. I like Bryan Bros for the fact that they actually play golf. They're decent golf. They're competitive golfers. Super nerds, which I do appreciate, but they let that come out in their content, and they don't really try to be anything that they're not. They really are that. So I appreciate that. I put it at probably Bryan Bros, Grant, another reason. Obviously, I relate to that. He's a competitive player. He's good. And then I put Kyle in first. Like if I'm gonna watch stuff, I like to watch Cart Barn guys content. And quite frankly, I mean Kyle probably agree with me on this. If he liked to play in the sandbox with others and do all the networking that goes into what ultimately leads to the growth of a lot of those accounts and kind of playing that game behind the scenes, you know what I mean? And uh, showing love to people that you don't necessarily love in an effort to grow together, that type of thing that a lot of those guys do on the back end, I think he would be way, way, way bigger. But regardless of that, he's my number one. They're my favorite. Have been since day one. So that's where I'm at. I don't have five. I don't think I can list off five. Um, Even Dodd, I hung out with Dodd King. I'm not a huge fan of like what he does content wise. I like him as a person,
I
so I
love that
wouldn't
you
put him.
call him Dodd King.
It's
The
Dodd King.
DOD King.
Yeah, it's Dodd, dude. I just call him Dodd. Like I was calling him Dodd the whole. Hey Dodd, get over here. But yeah, dude, it's tough. Again, like those are the few that I've kind of limped in and watched. I've watched a ton of Kyle's content, so I can appreciate it. I like how Kyle does things out there. He pushes people to be really funny, myself included. Some of the other stuff I just don't want to lie about. Like I don't have a scope to go off of. I haven't sat and watched hardly anything at length, like I'm telling you. So I don't want to bullshit the audience. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's fair. That's a
Right?
fair take right there. And I can tell you, folks, Butsy likes to watch the Cart Barn guys. That is for sure.
Yeah, big fan of what they do over there.
Now, as we talk about the YouTube side, the Twitter side, we're not even going to go over kind of the top
I want
10
you to
or
key me
5.
into Twitter, bro. Like, I
Twitter's
actually
a
want you to touch on it because you live in the Twitterverse, and I want to know more
I
about
used
it.
to. I used to.
What
Back
is
at
used
the
to?
I feel like it's been like I haven't really been on there for like 6 months.
Shit,
It
dude.
just remember that episode to where it was like we were taking on all the live folk and we were
Yeah,
just absolutely turning
live
heel.
folk.
That's I just got tired because it was just like, man, it's too easy to kind of beat up on them a bit. And it was just like, and it was more like for entertainment purposes than anything.
Of course, it
But
always
all right,
is.
getting to the Twitter, like what is Twitter all about when it comes to the golf space?
Yeah.
It is so you've got like your golf outlets that push basically recycled content and just try to throw it up there as fast as possible. So those are the guys like Flushing It. You've got I mean, Flushing It is the one that comes to mind. That kind of grew during the whole live golf starting up, and they'll post both PGA Tour content, but they're big live golf guy. Like he's a live golf guy,
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Then you've got the actual like tours. So you got the PGA Tour, you got Live Golf, you've got DP World Tour. Like all those guys are posting content up onto Twitter. That is their way of getting news out. So think of it
Okay.
like a news feed more so than like just
Totally.
pure entertainment. That's how I kind of view X. And X is, it becomes very very messed up in a lot of ways. Like it's super negative. Like there's not a lot of positivity
It's
that
just a
goes
hate
on.
farm over there.
It is a hate farm. And like in the beginning, I saw that if you create controversy, if you create these issues, the algorithm really eats it up. And sure
Yeah.
enough, like that's what I was doing for a while, but then it drains your own personal energy to a point to where I'm
Oh,
like, man,
absolutely. It's negativity.
I know this is like entertainment and everything, but you just kind of drain yourself. And it takes a lot of work to like sit there and type up everything and to have it make sense and be catchy. But yeah, for like, I would say for the better part of like 6 to 8 months, I was very active on Twitter. I wanted to grow our Twitter account. Like we're up over 5,000 followers on Twitter,
Yeah.
which was a lot of just constant research and growth of trying to go in and figure out the algorithm so that we can end up getting in front of the right people. But yeah, it just becomes exhausting. But the players, like Max Homa used to be the king of Twitter.
Yeah.
And then even Homa was just like,
He's
man,
like,
this is
okay,
just overwhelming. Like
sucking
he
me dry.
he it literally started becoming that for him. So he stopped. Michael Kim is the one that does a phenomenal job right now with that. With Twitter, like he doesn't burn people, but he's just very articulate and is kind of funny at times as well. So he's doing a great job. And then it's just like I said, it's a lot of just trying to push out and do breaking news and so forth and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And when I was playing that game, by the way,
Yeah.
of trying to break news and constantly reaching out to agents, and you start to realize that they all have their own agendas.
Of
That it's
course.
like everybody wants to leak something and they need an outlet in order to leak it. And like I got some pretty big leaking information out there in the forefront that by far we were the first ones. Like there's some Bryson stuff that it's still coming out that it's like everything you looked at what we said on Twitter was accurate and was like spot on. So that to me was it like it gets your adrenaline going a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's it's exhausting. So
It's leaking you.
yeah, it really does. But if you're gonna be like a breaking news or like here's the latest shot from the PGA Tour of like Tiger Woods like starting to practice again. This is the first clip of Tiger Woods. Like
It's going to
that's
be
gonna
this.
do well. Like you have to play that game. And I mean, I believe even Elon has talked about it that he wants it to be a news outlet. He wants that to be where you get your news from.
And that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Just
like you're saying, you can very quickly get sucked in there beyond, doing it for personal gain. It can become an addiction like anything, right? And then all of a sudden it's like consuming. Now you're fighting with people. Not you. I'm saying like I can see that happening. It happens on Instagram too, right? Like I called out one of my buddies. I'll withhold his name, but I would just find random posts and it'd be political shit or whatever. There's his fucking tag, and it's right on top. He's 1,400 paragraphs into fighting with this fucking guy, and I send him screenshots. He's like, "Fuck, where was that?" I'm like, "You do this all day, bro? Like, what are you doing?"
oh man.
You know,
It
I'll tell
becomes
you
too
later who that
much.
is. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, even with the 5 a.m. comeback stuff, like I was filming every single day and it just felt like it was becoming a it was becoming a chore. It was becoming something that I didn't want to do.
Yeah,
And so now after taking a little bit of time and only recording stuff that actually am like liking
yeah,
and doing, it's building out the story better. And like now we're going to start piecing together like a week at a time rather than trying to do every single day and record everything all day long without having somebody there to film. And
yeah.
obviously we're going to look to bring on somebody to start to film that content. But yeah, it's that journey really is just beginning. I realized day 76, I'm like, fuck, I haven't even made it 3 months yet. So
Yeah.
like that stuff gets crazy as well. So I give anybody who is a content creator out there credit because it is not easy.
You got to do it like like you just said, like blips, little windows into what you're doing. Try to do all of it, like some of these. Yeah, like you just said.
So
Eh,
I don't know what a crown match is, but apparently Kyle over at Car Barn Guys says we need a crown match between you two. So please do explain what
Oh, we
is a
discussed
crown
this
match.
earlier at length. The crown match is you didn't see any of the pup matches because obviously you don't watch Car Barn Guys on YouTube. Uh, but
No, I have watched content, but I will say this that I normally catch like the clips and stuff of you versus Pup on Instagram. So I haven't
so
watched like a full match recently between you two. I have a lot of stuff going on.
played like 25 matches at this point, probably over the years with Pup, and it's like the forever rivalry, right? But Kyle up the ante, and we figured that nothing would be worse than winning or losing and having to either receive or hand and place on the other man's head a crown. So Kyle
Wow.
bought a crown, and and Pup had to place that on my head after the last end of the last series. So crown match is just that. It's a crown.
Wow, that's a big deal.
It's a boiler. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll
You
make your
could.
knees shake over a 3-footer.
It's just one of those things. If you have to put the crown on somebody,
Yeah.
you can pretend that you're happy for them, but nobody wants to do that.
And that it's filmed too.
And it's on camera. It's you
That's
gotta.
tough.
You don't know how you're gonna act. You just don't know
No.
how you're gonna act, dude. Oh, good job, buddy. I was like, fucking, this is terrible.
That's
Oh,
brutal.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's the crown match. That's
yeah.
interesting.
So Kyle's trying to instigate that currently between you and I
Oh
don't
wow.
hate it. I think it would be fun.
Could be good. Could be good.
You've been training, bro. It's time.
It's time to start getting out there. I know. Trot keeps asking me too. Every time I go out to see him for a lesson, we do it weekly.
Yeah.
That he's like, "When's the next event?" And I'm like, "I don't have anything yet. Like, I don't know. I like. Do you even know where to look for like local tournaments and so forth?
What are you trying to play in? You
Just
want to like
anything competitive."
so the azgolf.org is like the best set up for amateur events. You get points for them as well, and the fields are fucking deep. azgolf.org, yeah, they have like majors throughout the year. You have the Northern Am, Southern Am. Um, the Arizona Amateur is an unbelievable tournament. Everything's really well run. You win shop credit. It's go check it out.
Yeah, definitely gonna
Free
check that
commercial for
out.
them right there. Jesus, we should get in for free.
we really should. Shoot, we should
Uh,
make them a sponsor. Oh,
Not a bad idea, actually.
not a bad idea at all. But yeah, really anything. And that's what Trot just said. So Trot just added it to the stream. He goes, anything. And it's true. Like any matches, any tournaments, anything at all where it's competitive, just to get those competitive juices flowing again and start being under pressure. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing is to train and under pressure in those situations. And even my sports psychologist has constantly been telling me that, you got to put yourself, you almost have to build calluses. It's like when you first start golfing, you
Yeah.
start getting calluses on your hands. And after a period of time, you don't get those blisters anymore
Mhm.
because you have calluses. Same thing goes mentally, apparently.
Absolutely, man. I remember back in the day, that was the number one thing. You play week in and week out, and it gets pretty easy to step up to one and just rip it after a while. Oh fuck! I hope I don't fail. It's the worst.
The best part is like I'm finally getting to a point where before I felt like because of the chipping yips, like I
Yeah,
couldn't go out and play around on my own because I would have a blow up hole. I just knew that it would come. And I'm starting to get to the point now to where there's been enough practice put in
hmm,
that the chipping yips are becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and fewer instances. And the chipping game is actually starting to get pretty good. We were working on that even more today, as well as I saw Trot earlier in the day for our golf lesson. And so shout
nice.
out to him for that. But yeah, I would be open to a crown match, but the crown match, I feel like we would have to get a couple matches in. Like you can't
It's a
just
series.
start off with like the crown, right?
No, it's a series. It's a usually best of three
Okay.
or best of five, whatever you set up to begin with. I mean,
Which
it's
I
nice to
also
have.
love, by the way, that you have dominated me in matches over the past probably year, I would say. Like I don't
No,
think I've won one.
no. But that's then. You're putting in the work now, so we got to go test it out, and we should both sign up for an AZ Golf tournament. Travel out there, play. That'd be fun to kind of work towards that, and
I like that.
fuck, it's better than just a regular golf weekend. You know what I mean? Like means something. Get to
Yeah,
go
for sure.
through all the bullshit and have the starter call your name, put everything out, all that shit.
Love that. So let's, as we're
Yeah,
talking about this golf content and everything, I feel like we skipped TikTok, which I'm okay with.
I'm
I,
okay.
I don't, I don't think we need to really get into the TikTok. I wanted to touch upon it just because it's like, okay, we could post that onto TikTok, but I'm not like, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of shit going on over there. But yeah, that's I get worn out by the time I get to TikTok.
My algorithm is not super golf related on TikTok. It is a lot of trendy stuff. And it's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff because of my day to day as to what I do in social media for the
Yeah.
agency. So it's just like it I I like to say that I have a very trendy algorithm when it comes to like what is viral and what's trendy content. So I
I
get
mean,
all that stuff ahead of time.
that's good though. Gives you inspiration for, and you can use it for other shit, right?
I just never know how to relate it to us. That's the only thing
There's
that I
always a
tend to
way.
struggle with. But let's talk about VJ's burner. Okay, that golf
Oh,
or Zyre Golf put this up there. Let me see if I can pull it up, and then we can actually bring it up onto the screen.
I have a hunch about this guy. I don't think he's that old. First off, you said he was like in his 60s. I don't think he is, and I think it might just be beautiful clickbait, like really well thought out clickbait to almost scratch at people, but like, yeah, I don't know if it's authentic. I'm not sure.
It worked. I mean,
Oh,
it
absolutely.
it worked in a major major way. So let's I've got it pulled up here. Let me share my screen. Hopefully I don't end the live stream this time
No,
like I
don't
did
do that,
last
dude.
week.
Do that.
That was fun. Okay, here we go. All right, we got VJ's burner here. So woke golf, untucked shirts, big letter hats, 5 logos, 0 memberships, flexing pro ship hauls, big money games, getting fucked up on the course, no knowledge of etiquette, no interest in history, no preservation of tradition, no respect for the game. And I believe there was also like in the oh, there's more. Hang on a second. Let's click over. Excessive gambling is growing addiction among golfers that must be curbed. It's not cool to play for $100 a hole. My standard bet is for a drink after the round. At Chicago Golf Club, only a $1 Nassau is allowed. Members play for signed dollar bills and pin them up in their lockers. That's actually kind of cool. I like that. At Atlanta Golf Club, a member's wife shot up his car for losing $100,000 in a member tournament. Hashtag shrink.
That's made up. That's not fucking true. This guy's a fucking clown. That's what I'm telling you. I think it's just clickbait. It sounds designed like, um, yeah, a dollar. Like, shut up, dude. Nobody's playing for a fucking
He
dollar. At least play for
he
$5.
shoot, and I totally just lost the
No,
page. Hang on.
fuck that guy. Fucking nerd.
Oh man. So
I
yeah,
hate him.
woke golf. So
Woke.
let's break this down. Okay.
I'm gonna get mad.
Because I feel like I have gone from somebody that always tucked in shirts, like came from the Northeast, where it's like playing a lot of country clubs, being in the golf industry, like you were like, it was very traditional. And then over the past 5 years, I'd say I've become less and less traditional
Yeah.
and more so trendy to where like, shoot, dude, I can't remember. So actually, I can remember because it was at the member guest tournament,
I
and
remember.
all of a sudden I go to the member. I'm like, hey, dude, like, do we have to tuck in our shirt here? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't even bring shorts that had belt loops. So I'm sitting there like tucking my shirt in, like having a little bit like out just so that it was like covering up like that I wasn't wearing a belt at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where I was like, oh wow, I've really shifted a lot when it comes to this. But I don't think this has been a bad thing for the game. What do you think?
Oh, and I think this guy's an idiot. I think he's a fucking moron. I tuck my shirt in all winter long. You know why? Because it's not 140 degrees outside.
Good point.
Okay, it is much cooler in Arizona to play with your shirt untucked. That's a fact. I got a sticky belly, okay, and I'm not trying to have that shit all fucking. That guy's an idiot, and playing for a dollar is stupid. Nobody's gonna play for a dollar. At least $5, at least enough to buy the guy a beer while you're getting fucked up on the golf course. Fuck that guy. I fucking hate him.
The one thing I did like though was the signed dollar bills. To
That's cool.
me, I like that. Like, I don't think you have to pay, just like we're talking about with this crown series, where
Yeah,
you have to literally put a crown on somebody's head if you lose to them.
yeah,
That,
yeah. There's no
like,
money bet.
that's bigger to me than money. Like,
It
yes,
is.
money can make you nervous and shaky, like, but you really shouldn't be gambling if you're betting that much on the golf course. Like, I've been part of some money games, and I've been a part of money games that, ruined a group. Like, there was a group that used to go out and play all the time and play money games, and then all of a sudden the numbers started creeping up, creeping up, creeping up.
Yeah.
And then when one of the guys ended up losing, it almost led to a fist fight. So like, I'm with this account from that respect, and I do like the $1 signing it and having to pin that on a locker. It's like almost like
It's a trophy.
it's a trophy, but it's like a list of people that you have beat that are
Yeah.
like on your locker. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah. I would just rather be a $5 bill. That's all.
Ooh, $5 bill. Even
Five
better.
bucks.
Even better.
Just the five
$5.
bucks. Yeah, at least
Yeah.
it's nothing, but it's better than a dollar bill.
Yeah. I would say the standard bet that I'm always seeing is 5-5-10. 5-5-10
Yeah.
Nassau. $5 front, $5 back, $10 overall.
If it's a buddy that's chirping a little bit, like, and okay, you want to get a little competitive today, like you really want to talk a little shit, and it still could be a very good friend, we'll run 20s,
Ooh.
maybe you lose $100 like that. But that's like the extent of it. You get up into, I'm with you. Like, unless you are literally playing an adversarial style opponent that you don't regularly hang out with, and it's more of a battle, than it is
Yeah.
a friendly hangout day, you could see it creep up there. But yeah, I would never want to take more than $100 off of a friend and vice versa.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. 100%. Yeah.
Just enough to sting. Like, you'd be pissed losing $80 to your buddy. You'd be like, fuck, give that guy $80.
Well,
Fuck.
that's where like the 5-5-10, because you can press, and normally we do, well, depends on the group, but automatic 2 down press.
Yeah.
So if you go down 2 down, you have to press.
Hmm. Love that. I like 2 down autos.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
There's a lot. I mean, and those that money can get up there. I've had it to where
Quickly.
spent over $100 at the end of a round, and it's like, okay, you just
Mhm.
paid for my round of golf.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I have been on the golf course and people don't understand how bets work or whatever, and then you get to the end and there's some serious temper flying. Like, yeah, like, fuck. Okay. All right. All right.
They do not like to let go of that money.
No,
And yeah,
but to that guy, it's just so vague, and to try to equate that list with wokeism, that's not what it is. Well, you can't call it
that
woke golf.
that was the trigger, though. That was the trigger that. So
Same.
as I was talking about on Twitter, that right there is why that went viral.
Because because people are like, I'm not fucking woke. What do you
Yep.
talk? Like, you piss people off when you start calling them woke. That's a whole different thing. So,
Yeah, a lot of people got triggered by that one. I saw it and I was just like, I was kind of laughing at it. I'm like, this will be interesting content to talk about on tonight's show. So
this is a doozy.
yeah, appreciate you, VJ's Burner, for giving us something to talk about on this off week. But man, we've got silly season coming up, which is the fall golf season of
Oh,
the PGA Tour. Good
and
old silly
Arizona.
season. Yep. You got Napa is coming up. I want to say, is Napa next week or the week after?
I don't know.
The Ryder Cup is right around the corner.
When is the Ryder Cup?
I'm going to the schedule now. Let's take a look. So the Pro Core is September 11th through 14th, which I believe is next. Yeah, that's next week. And then after that, I want to say it's the Ryder Cup. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, hang on a second. Ryder Cup is end of September. So September 26th through the 28th. So we've got, we'll have another week hiatus. So basically, next week, we've got, we could preview that tournament. We could talk about, good old Bryson's comments around the PGA Tour not allowing him to play, even though Liv will, and everything. So We can go
Dude.
down that path a little bit.
We should poll it. We should do a poll maybe on IG this week, with like, I don't know, 10 different topics about what people want to see in the show next week, and maybe do that. You know,
You know what? I love that. I'm gonna
viewer
put you on
design show.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, and I'm gonna say you post that on _Butsy,
Yeah.
and let's see what people come up with. And so don't do a poll. Have them send you messages with the content, and let's go over all the different things that people are recommending. And then from there, we'll figure out a few topics for next week.
Okay, I can do that.
And then after the Procore, we're gonna obviously have the preview Ryder Cup show, and then we'll have the Ryder Cup preview show, and then we'll have the Ryder Cup recap show. So we've got 3 straight weeks after the Procore. So next week is once again the 1 week that we will be able to do just straight viewership content.
Love that.
I do too.
Let's see what people say. I think, could be
Give it
hilarious.
back to the people.
Give it back to the folks, man.
Yeah. Love that.
Sure.
All right,
Well-
folks. Well, that's all we got for tonight. We appreciate all of you for listening. And Butsy, till next time, peace out. A-Town
I enjoyed it, man.
down.